Up with Jordan and Ron.
Hi, welcome to Hooking Up with Jordan and Ron. I'm Jordan.
I'm Ron.
And we're here to talk today about making friends in a modern world. Our guest today is Connie, who's a local bartender at a bar called Cirque in Ann Arbor. And Connie, have you been a bartender for a long time, or have you been kind of in hospitality in your career?
Hospitality for years.
Yeah.
Probably coming up on like 10, 11 years.
Oh, wow.
Bartender for the last 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Once I learned bartending, I was like, goodbye serving.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, I bet. I bet. Talk about, first of all, much more fun. And second, you get way better tips.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just like the fast pace. It's just like
Mhm.
boom, boom, boom. There you go.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're listening from Ann Arbor, Cirque is what a lot of us used to know as Circus Bar.
hmm
And in 2018, it turned into Cirque, completely remodeled. It's absolutely beautiful inside if you haven't been there. It's this big, long, beautiful bar and places to play foosball and hang out. And it's
It's
just,
like a beautiful loft space,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
it's like multiple in one.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got like 4 bars in one area.
yeah, and it's got
Yeah.
a roof,
Yeah.
roof that's open. And it's a great place for adults to go hang
Mhm.
out, which, of course, is our theme. You know, how do you meet people and hang out and what happens with friends in an adult world here in Ann Arbor. Connie, tell us a little bit about what your job is like.
It's pretty fun. So I really get motivated once the music kicks in
Yeah.
and starts going. Then it's just like boom, boom, serve drinks. It's just very fast paced. You see people 9 times out of 10, it's really hard to hear them.
Right.
Because
I bet.
it's so loud.
Yeah.
Like, the music going. It's a lot of karaoke. So
Mhm.
it's nice to listen to the individuals sing, and some are really, really good, which I really appreciate.
Oh, right.
Listening
I
to
know.
like the good voices and stuff. And others are just out having fun. So that's fun too.
Yeah, and what age ranges would you say primarily you see at Cirque?
So I feel like during college season, we definitely get like the college
Mm-hmm.
crowds. When Michigan games start, there's definitely a variety.
Okay.
And the older, how do you say that nicely? Like,
No, that's
the
what
older
That's
No,
exactly
it
it.
is.
You just
That's
say
us.
older.
Yeah, us and plus.
The
Yeah, I know.
crowd, like they kind of sense when it's no longer college time.
They
so
sure do.
like
Yes.
when the college students go back home, we end up with the older crowd. And so that's actually really nice for tipping too.
Oh, it sure
They have
is.
more money.
Oh, it sure is. And yeah, as a longtime townie at this point, it's like
Yes.
people celebrate when the students disappear.
Yeah.
And everyone is suddenly out to the
I mean,
places
and
they
they're
don't
fun
go.
too, but obviously they're paying for college. They're on budgets and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a completely different atmosphere when you don't have the students
It
there.
is. Yeah.
But that's, of course, why we live in Ann Arbor. We love that here. You know, it's
Yeah.
the variety of
There's
people.
still a
and-
nightlife without, I mean, having moved here or moved back in August myself, so less than a year ago, just immediately was easy to jump into going out and places to go and
Yeah.
making friends and stuff. And being in my mid 40s, it's like that's not normal in
Yeah.
every little town you might live in.
Yeah.
And
Well, sorry.
oh, go
I
ahead.
feel like I'm almost 33.
Okay.
And so for me now, it's really hard to pinpoint people's ages.
Oh, totally.
And I
yeah.
don't know what it is, but like will like mingle with like the younger crowd, not realizing that they are like 10, 11 years
Oh
younger
my
than
gosh.
me. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but I just feel like everyone looks so like much older now. Like,
Yes.
I don't know.
That's
and, like,
interesting.
Yeah, being my age, I
Mhm.
can never pinpoint how old people are anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I have trouble with
It's-
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as you then head into your 50s, you will start to recognize that
Yeah, a
everybody
little
looks
bit
like
better,
they're
yeah.
like between 20 and 30, you know? Even when they're in their 40s, they start looking like between 20 and 30. you know?
Yes.
Well, do you mostly see people hanging out by themselves or with friends?
I feel like most definitely with friends.
Okay.
You do get the few that are there by themselves. Like there's a few people that come in just because they love karaoke,
Mhm.
but like you don't see them come in with anyone. They come in, they sing their songs, and yeah, and then like as you watch, like you'll kind of see them mingle with other people and stuff. But like yeah, you do get those few that come in by themselves.
And if, as a single person, I walked in and wanted to meet people, would this be a good place to go meet
Oh,
people?
definitely. Yeah, I feel like I feel like people are really outgoing in
Mhm.
that environment. Like, if they're karaokeing and you're up there singing, people are good at appalling, coming up to you, telling you
Yeah.
good job, or
Yep.
see you at the bar. I've seen a lot of people pay for so and so's
Oh,
drinks.
that's
Like,
nice.
Very
Wow.
nice.
yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
seems like a very friendly place. We
Mhm.
don't, we have security there, and
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's not like they are having to drag much of anybody out
No,
or
no, I've
anything.
never seen
So,
any
yeah.
altercation there or anything.
Oh,
I feel
good.
comfortable on my own there, for
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
What is that district called now? Is that
Oh, the creative
Creative
district. You know
District?
those
Is that the
flags that
name?
are up on like they're like the neighborhood flags in certain neighborhoods. They'll have them like on the telephone pole or where
Okay,
that
yeah,
just
yeah.
establishes certain areas. But yeah, it's called the creative district. Not sure what that means. Maybe that means like we have more murals than you have, or I don't.
Yeah, I
Right.
don't know.
Well, there's
Yeah,
entertainment. There's
sure,
definitely more
sure.
entertainment. You have bands, you have
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
the
a
different.
tiki bar outside, so sometimes now they'll have, like, a band
Oh, is
out
that
there
what the outdoor
playing.
space is? I saw
Yes,
this
and you
social
can
post.
go up there and get a
Okay.
s'mores kit because 'cause they've got
Oh,
fireplaces out and
cool.
stuff,
That's
so, like,
fun.
yeah, you can sit there and roast your
Cool.
s'mores,
Oh, that's
yeah,
That's
cool.
really cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that part of town used to be really very run down. So if you've been down there for a while, it's not run
It's
down
not.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. They're brand new lofts and apartments and things all around it at this
Mhm.
point.
Yeah.
If you think the Blind Pig was still a dive bar, well, it still looks like a dive bar, but it is not.
Yeah.
It has got a very different clientele to what they used to have.
Yeah. Well, and 8
Yeah.
Ball underneath it too
An 8
is
Ball.
really a hot spot. Also, but still that mostly that college crowd or like pool players. Tons of pool players.
People tend to find places like that to congregate that they feel
Mhm.
comfortable in,
Mhm.
where their friends go, and eventually over time, there's usually one or two that become the places that people go.
Yep.
You
Yep.
I can think of a place over on Main that is very much a place that people go,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
Cirque is definitely very much a place that people go.
Yeah.
Plenty of free parking. Well, I guess after 6 it's free in the lot,
It's not
right?
too bad. And
Yeah,
the
it's
one
right
big
across.
lot right near there's like $5 or
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, and there is that ice cream shop. I forget the name
It's
of
so
it. What
popular.
is
Blank
it?
Slate.
Yes, Blake Slate.
Yeah, there's a
There's
huge
always
line.
a line.
Oh my
Always when I'm
gosh.
coming into work. But if you go across the street from Blake Slate over the
Uh-huh.
railroad tracks and to your left, there's usually a lot there. And
Uh-huh.
as long as there's not an event sign, you can park there for free.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
lots of
I
places
need
to go park and
go
go hang
there.
out
Yeah.
downtown.
Hmm.
Um, so what happens on a typical night? What goes on there?
So we go in, we open. So it gets pretty quiet. And then, like, we just do our runarounds, our cleanups, make sure
Mhm.
everything's sanitary, ready to go. And then sometimes there's events, which is really cool. Like, there'll be weddings held there. And then sorority events. So on Thursday nights, we usually have trivia,
Mhm.
which is really cool.
That's a lot of fun. I've
Which
been
is
to a
gonna be
bunch of those.
outside now because it was
Is
inside. But yeah, in the
it?
nicer weather, they pull it outside by
Cool.
the tiki. So you can still order your food and all that
Okay.
stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. And then that runs from 7 to 9.
Okay.
And then it's karaoke.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
then the crowd comes in and then it gets fun, and like as time goes, like I see familiar faces. So we'll catch up, like
Mhm.
Jordan and I.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Karaoke seems to be a very big thing there.
It is. It is very big. I do like when the DJ plays sets in between because it just kind of gives us a break from the karaoke.
Oh, sure.
So that's nice too.
So do some of the
Yeah.
customers. You know?
Yeah, there's
Yes.
usually like 1 or 2 songs between and
Yeah.
the DJ
yeah.
well the trivia night guy Josh, he plays some pretty good music too
Yes.
on
yeah.
Thursdays.
Yeah. And he's a
Um,
character. Yeah.
He is a character.
Yeah. The things he says are hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. He always tries to incorporate some humor into
Absolutely,
trivia
yes.
night. But the karaoke DJ is a really good DJ.
Yeah.
He really has some
Yeah.
nice stuff that he
We
does.
do have a couple. Yeah. We've got one in training too, which is really
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a security guard. Marquise. He's training to be a DJ.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Would it be a great place to go for like a date?
So I feel like yes and no. So I
Mhm.
feel like the Cirque could probably be too loud, and like on a date, you want to kind of get to know each other, have
Mhm.
a conversation, not be yelling and hoping
Yeah.
that they can hear
Yes.
you. Because me personally, I'm really bad at this, but like if I can't hear you, I still will like say, yeah,
Oh, and nod. Yeah.
laugh when I see you laughing. It's just so hard.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
I'm the worst at hearing people in the Cirque bar. I've learned to lip read really well.
Yeah, you
which
kind
I
of know what they
bet. Oh
bring.
gosh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the lounge that is like around the corner from the Cirque bar, and that you can go into it from the Cirque bar, which actually now to go in, you go up the stairs to enter lounge first. It's a
Okay.
much more quieter, and they have a fireplace setting, and it's quieter there. I
Where
feel like definitely that would be the place
is
to
that on the
want it.
ground level or is that
It is upstairs.
Oh.
Yep, it's upstairs. So it's right where that deck is, the
Oh,
outside deck. Yeah.
cool.
So
Okay.
right there, and even outside out on the deck,
Yeah.
having a conversation on a nice summer night.
Right.
Like, yeah, I feel like that would be a better vibe just so you can
Nice.
hear one another.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
impressed by how it's grown. I mean, I'd gone to a couple events there back like in 2019, maybe.
Yeah.
And it just seems like they grow. They
Mhm.
get
Yeah.
bigger. They
Mhm.
add rooms. They
Yeah.
add rooftops. They add things,
Mhm.
which is great to see in an establishment here
Yeah.
in Ann Arbor where there isn't all that much
Mhm.
space to do things. I understand there's going to be a new bar underneath you soon,
Yeah,
too.
next
Yeah.
to it, where that. Do you remember where that like metal mermaid sculpture was for sale? Like
No.
inside the building. So it's just the next building over. No one's been in it for a while.
Really?
And I think it's going to be a gay bar, which is interesting because we
Nice.
really haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
haven't.
think
We
Life
haven't.
has like gay night, right?
Okay, do they?
Right.
But
Yeah,
like to just like have one for that, like I think that's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in the middle of the entertainment district, right? The
Yep.
creative district.
Yep.
It's kind of
Yeah.
great to have that there.
Yeah, absolutely.
we'll have to see
Yeah.
what that turns into. And if
Yeah, we're
it's
trying to find out
successful-
who's going to own that and try to get them
Yeah.
in and interview
Yeah, I'm
them a
curious.
bit about
First
that.
time hearing
you know?
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so which will just add more entertainment to the area, I guess. You
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah.
Um,
I do feel like that side of Ann Arbor is really nice for calmer. I feel like you get on the other side of Ann Arbor, and that's where you get the flood of college students going out to
Oh,
just
right on
like,
South U.
we're gonna forget it all. And
oh, for
that's the
sure.
goal.
Well,
For
so
sure.
what's interesting too is I've heard a few people, mostly I think people younger than 30s or maybe in their early 30s, refer to that as the undergraduate side of town.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, that's undergrad zone. Like, oh, okay, and this side is grad and law students and
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that. So
I think there's something to that. It's like
Yeah.
where I live is very much graduate student,
right,
even though it's right by the university,
yeah,
as opposed to going like 4 blocks east, which all becomes student,
right, yeah.
undergrad.
If you're 21, you're probably not always going to dinner on Main Street and then going out or something
Yeah,
like that. It's
yeah.
a different vibe.
Yeah. And tell us about yourself. Are you married? Are you in a relationship? Are you divorced? Do you have kids? Do you have who are you?
So I am a mom of 2 boys.
Yay.
Aw.
Yep. I actually started when I was 16.
Wow.
You're young.
It was not planned. But yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah.
And then yes, I do have a boyfriend.
Aw.
So
Great.
my 16-year-old Landon, and then my little guy Christopher, he just turned 5.
Aw. Oh, you
We are
mentioned
still
that last week,
together.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Aw,
yes.
wow.
We've been together for about 8 years now.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where did you meet?
Yeah. So that's funny. We met at a Coney in
Oh my
Chelsea. Yeah, we
gosh.
worked together for about 5 years, and he kept
Interesting.
trying, and I was like, no. I don't know. You rubbed off on me.
Oh, that's cool. But that's
Yeah.
that coworker angle. We have talked about that
Yes.
briefly as well. Like sometimes you literally meet people at work.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
worked a lot of hours. He pulled a lot of doubles and still does, and I was pulling doubles
Yeah.
too. And so it was like we were spending more time together than anywhere else.
Sure. That's an interesting way to get to know someone too and like what their kind of what their values are and if
Yeah.
they're, are they a hard worker? Are they actually doing anything, day to day? So
yeah, no, he stayed busy.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then I live in Whitmore Lake, and yeah, I'm just a hardcore mom and love the gym.
I remember when you were looking for a house.
Yes, I was, and you know what? I
Yeah.
kind of I'm still in the renters era.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I'm
and-
renting too.
Me
Yeah,
too.
and I feel like that's better. I don't know about
These
everyone
days
else,
it feels
but
like it.
I don't have
Yeah.
money to replace a roof if something happens.
Right.
Sure. All
Right.
the big
furnace,
right?
or
All the
those
big expenses.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
Other people remove your snow. They take care of the leaves. They do the
Yes.
landscaping.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
Mhm.
absolutely something goes wrong inside.
you
They
have
come and
someone
fix
to
it.
contact, and me
Yeah.
personally, I think I do way better with that.
Yeah.
I feel overwhelmed already being a mom and keeping up with work and school
absolutely.
and all that. That it's
Mhm.
like if something happens to the house, I don't have time for it.
Yeah. I have to come clean because I know that Jordan met Connie at Cirque, but I actually knew Connie from a restaurant where she was a server
Yes, which we just
before she
discovered
worked at
today.
Cirque.
I love
Yeah,
this.
one of my favorites. So I used to go all the time. I still go over at Nick's House of Pancakes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's
Very
like,
good breakfast.
yeah. So Connie
It's
came in the
really,
door
yeah.
and it's like, you look so familiar. I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
like where was it from? And then like a few moments later, we realized, yeah.
Yes, when you said Florida, because I love Florida. One
Yeah.
day I need a beach house.
Oh,
I don't
that's
even care if it's a
awesome.
1-bedroom cottage. Like, I just want
There's
to
tons
run
of
on the
that down there.
beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for Florida. There's also a lot not to be said
Yeah,
for
I've
Florida.
heard.
Mhm. When
try to ignore
when
it.
things go
There's
down, they
probably
go
good
down in
pockets,
Florida.
right?
you
Like
know?
everywhere.
Yeah, like
yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a great there's a great meme of a clown like staring at a person, and it just says, "For one day, can we just act normal?" And this clown has just Florida written on top of him,
That's
Aw.
funny.
which is pretty accurate down there.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of clowns.
yeah. Well, one of the reasons I moved back. Right. Well, exactly. Oh my gosh. It's like, yeah, it's like this running joke about when things happen, they happen either in Texas, Florida, or California.
Yeah.
Things like that don't happen up here, but they do. They happen just as much up
Yeah.
here. We have Michigan man as much as we had Florida
Michigan man.
Yeah, we
Oh,
have
that's
Michigan
funny.
man here too.
Uh-huh.
One of the reasons I moved back up, I was going to make a permanent move down to Florida, but now I just sort of go down whenever I feel like it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sometimes stay longer than I want. Sometimes, I just don't go down. Um, it was not the difficulty making friends down there because
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that move down there and they retire and then they live like in a retirement community.
Mhm.
Well, that's not
Mhm.
me. There are a lot of families that move down there with their kids and then they create social worlds with their kids in school because that's
Right.
how you meet new people.
Yeah.
And then there's single people that move down there and live by themselves and like don't
Yeah.
meet anybody.
That's
you know?
tough. That
Yeah.
would be tough.
Yeah, it's a much different world down
Mhm.
there. And up here, I know so many people.
Mhm.
Right.
I joke about like I have 1,000 friends. Well, I don't, but I probably have 1,000 acquaintances. up
Right.
here,
Yeah, that's
you
how
know?
I
Mhm.
feel. That's how I feel. I don't feel like I have a lot of friends, but like you just said, I have a lot of acquaintances, a lot of
Mhm.
people that I've known, had conversations with, whatnot.
Right, and they're close. You
Yes.
can not see those people for years and then be best friends again when you
Mhm.
talk to each other, which is not like the feeling that you get in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are communities where people grew up there and live there that do have that kind of closeness, but not if you're going to be a northerner moving down
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
don't know anybody really.
Well, and there's
Mhm.
not, we're the whole reason we have Connie here is thinking about like downtown and
Mhm.
the energy of having a downtown little place to go even in the first place. And it
Right.
seems like
Yeah.
that's something that maybe is lacking in other parts of the country where
it
everyone's
is.
driving around doing their own thing.
Yeah, you have
And there's
beautiful
not really a
communities with
central
beautiful
place.
houses, but no
Mhm.
central entertainment district,
Mhm.
Yeah.
creative district.
Interesting.
What is your goal for the future?
Hmm.
Meh.
Yeah.
Running on the beach. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly,
Mhm.
I don't know if I'll ever retire, but if I do, no. I don't know. I guess just to raise my boys up to be
Mhm.
fine, successful young men
Yep.
and just strong and be able to handle it in this world. I honestly I don't know. I think I've just been a mom for so long that I haven't really had time to really think about what I want.
Right. Yeah.
I think short term for me, thinking in my head, like I said, just like moving, my peace would be being by the ocean.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I
Yeah.
know that every time I go
Mhm.
to Florida, it's like my heart never wants to leave.
Oh,
Well, that's what happened to me.
wow.
Every
Yeah.
time I come back,
Yeah.
it's like I really get into a depression.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel almost stuck in like the
Huh.
everyday run around where
Yeah.
it's like, I've been in the industry, but sometimes I feel burnt out being in
Sure.
the
Sure.
industry. It's a
Mhm.
very, because I even though I love where I work and all that and stuff, like people are just there. A lot of people are there for one thing. They just want their drink.
Yep.
Right.
And
Yep.
they just
Right.
look at you as that person that's just giving them that drink. And
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
sometimes it's just kind of like, yeah. It's,
Yeah, but being a bartender is also I can't think of a lot of jobs that are that social. I mean, you have to be on the whole time.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
expectations are high.
And it's hard too. It's hard too because you almost kind of like everything that is going on outside of the life.
Mhm.
You got to tuck it and just keep smiling during your job.
Yeah.
And that's
Well, you do a great job, and I'm glad
you.
we connected, and I know we'll spend more time
Yes.
together.
Yeah, and I'll definitely
And,
stop by
yeah.
to see you.
Absolutely.
It's
I
really
look forward
fun.
to
It's
it.
fun.
Yeah,
It's a
we've-
great staff. I mean, you do a great job, and but there's a lot of great people there. So
Yes.
Yeah.
so
Well, this
stop by
is,
Cirque when you have the opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's always awesome to be able to have people from our community here to talk to us. And as
Mhm.
we continue, we'll have more guests. But today we've had Connie from Cirque. Stop by and see her. Say hi. Let her know that you heard her on the podcast.
Yes.
Come on in.
Well,
And-
thanks for hooking up with us today, Connie. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, now you
Thank
can officially say I hooked up with
With Jordan.
Jordan and Ron.
Woo!
Honestly.